Dictionary. It says a child is a young human being below the age of puberty or below the legal age of majority.
Mamu Dele, are you below the age of puberty?
I'm still a child.
Late 40s and early.
So you're still below the age of puberty, right?
Yes.
And you're still a young child.
Yes.
She's young at heart.
Oh, that's interpretation.
There must be an interpretation to this whole
No
thing.
way.
You can't just.
Those who gave the name, they knew what they were talking about. They knew the context.
Well, they didn't know it was going to come to Nigeria, and we give interpretation to things. So yes.
After all that she has celebrated,
March
8th, International Women's Day.
March
I have another definition
that
here
sounds like jealousy.
from Merriam-Webster, and it says the meaning of child as a young person, especially between infancy and puberty.
I'm still a child. Leave it. Left matter for Matthias. Left matter for Matthias.
So I think we've nailed the coffin finally now.
No,
so.
you have not. Left matter for Matthias because to my parents, I'm still a child.
Of course.
Your parents
Whether I become a grandmother or tomorrow or not, I'm still a child.
And if we ask you, even your parents, like if you ask them, they will never call you a child.
Who says?
They will say my daughter, my son.
That is, you are bringing gender.
They will
No. You are bringing.
my child.
They will still at some point. They will still at some point address her as a child, as my child.
No, they will.
They
They will
will.
not.
It depends on your relationship with your parents.
My
too.
son,
At your old age,
Before you
you're a
became
child.
son
Yes.
or daughter.
I was a child. But it's in the past. That's
You're still a child to
You're
your
still a
parents.
child.
I've grown past that.
You are still a child to your parents.
No puberty and,
No,
You're still a child to your parents.
You're still a child
No,
to
Angeli,
your
she
parents.
has lost the
It's
battle
after
this
your
one, right?
birth that they knew that you are either a son or a daughter. And I asked Victor a question yesterday.
That-
What would have happened if you had that child and he came out with both genitals? What would have happened?
my
What would you call the child?
hermaphrodite.
Yes, sir. So what I was saying, you know, that's an anomaly.
Hey, it
But
is.
that is still your child.
But what we're saying here is, let's leave matter for Matthias, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Those who are children know they are children.
And
Yes.
we that
Not-
we are children,
not Mahmoud.
we that we are claiming childrenship, we still stick with it.
No, that one's a lost battle.
It's not a lost battle. It's not a lost battle.
You can't
You're
outgrow being a child, especially to African mothers, African parents.
Yeah,
You
it's
cannot outgrow that. You're
can't,
always a
it's
child
true.
to them.
You can still go by and be sitting on your mom's
Yes.
say you want to go and suck
Before
breast.
my grandmother, before my grandma
back there and
passed,
suck
before my
breast now.
paternal grandmother
Since you're
passed,
still a child.
yeah, she doesn't care. Even with her own son, who's my own father, she'll still carry him and put, him on the laps. What are you talking about? That is still her son. And then us, as the
So you just said
grandchildren,
that that's still her son. You just said it now. That's still her son. not
her
her
son, who was first and foremost her child.
Okay, so Mike, what's going on in the room? Let's leave these children.
Because let us enjoy. You people, that's an adulthood na scam. You people who want to be, you people who want to claim adulthood.
Let's leave these Mamo children.
Yes, we still want to.
They are Mamos.
We are still children on Children's Day.
They celebrated Women's Day. They celebrated
Yes.
Mother's Day. They
Jealous.
celebrated-
Children's
You guys are
Day.
And
jealous.
children are now
You
to
are
have their time.
jealous
They're
and you
saying
are
they are
envious.
their children.
You are jealous and you are envious of us.
You
You
want
are
to
jealous
children?
and you are envious. People who want to become adults, but it is this.
Maintain
These
your
are the people who
adulthood.
at the age of 10 will say, look, I'm no more a child, I'm now an adult at 10 years old. It
Okay.
is them. Now you see them.
All right. So she's still claiming to her.
Yes.
We're sticking to our claims.
What's the queen fancy
To my
going?
God.
Yes.
All of the above. All of the above.
All right. So Mike, what's going on?
Okay, yeah, the roads are still looking favorable.
Okay,
let's put
for
it
a
that
Tuesday
way.
like
for
this
a
one?
Tuesday morning, yes,
Oh,
amazingly.
beautiful.
Of course, we've been through the major corridors so far, and traffic I would say has been moving pretty well.
Okay.
But for the major choke points, taking a look at Lagos Abeokuta Expressway, the National Milezi corridor.
Yeah.
Very, very busy.
It's still busy.
Yeah, still busy. But coming from the rear, the toll gates, Alakuko, Abulegba areas,
And
all the way down to
Yanopaja.
Yanopaja. Yes, but of course, between Danko and Yanopaja, it slows down. And approaching Kola bus stop, it slows down.
Okay.
But beyond Yanopaja, better movement all through the Goyi stretch down to Dokbemu, underneath the bridge, cement, Ilezik. So Ilezik is where the traffic start, and it's quite busy, moving at a very slow rate, at snail's pace,
Right.
all the way to national.
How many lanes can you see from the screen? How many lanes do we have today? 5, 4, 3?
Okay, let's see if we can just
Zoom
bring
that in.
here.
Zoom it in, let's see.
Here. All right, so while we look out for that,
Okay.
beyond national, better movement continues all the way to the Balade-Oshodi corridor, considering alternation delay around that corridor.
Okay.
So that's for the Lagos-Bogota Express. So that's PWD.
All right. As you can see.
PWD. Yeah, that's what we're trying to bring that out. Okay, for the third mainland bridge, fantastic movement all the way. Yes, from the through motorways. The usual traffic from Chinatown inward Alakpere is prevalent.
So it's about 5 lanes as well.
Okay, 5 lanes.
5 lanes,
Up to
yes.
5. Looks like 4.
Okay.
It's actually 5.
It is.
Coming from cement, it's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5.
Okay.
Yeah, then reduces to 2.
By the time
You
you
approach Ikeja along inward national. That's where it goes on that stretch. So,
all right. Okay then. So we'll consider. But you say on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway.
fantastic movement is what we have gathered all the way through the stretch of toll gates down to Chinatown, between Chinatown and Alakpere. I say Alakpere, oh God. Chinatown and Chinatown. Moving towards Alakpere. Yeah, it slows down owing to pedestrians, crossing. But beyond that, better movement continues through Iyanoworo down to the island.
Okay.
Yes, even the Adekunle-Adeniji corridor is free.
It's free.
Yes, quite free
Like
at
we-
this time.
Like we drove through yesterday.
Yes,
It's
of
pretty-
course.
Quite free. isn't
Quite
it?
free.
Okay. All right then. Lekki-Ajah corridor. Any news from there too?
Well, I'm expecting reviews from there because the last reports we got was during the 7 o'clock hour. So it would have, been
would have
still.
changed.
It would have changed. The situation would have changed.
Let's talk about the corridor road right now. What's happening there?
Oh, okay. The usual Mount 12 bridge, inward Kushofe, busy movement, still prevalent. It's there. But we have traffic managers, managing the situation. Just high influx moving through the Mount 12 bridge, descending towards the K2 Kushofe corridor. But then it gets better beyond there, approaching Ojota interchange towards Ojota proper. The Laro Maryland corridor still looks good. And of course, the Fade Jibo Domolong Bridge end looks very good at this time. It's something to expect on a Tuesday morning like this.
So traffic is still favorable this Tuesday morning. No breakdowns to report?
The one we recorded was at Secretariat. Yeah, but it was just by the side of the road. It wasn't obstructing the flow of traffic in any way. But it should have been evacuated. It's a 40-feet container-laden truck that broke down there.
All right.
Yeah, but not affecting the flow of traffic.
Okay then. I'm sure we'll be getting more feeds from our traffic managers spread across the length and breadth of Lagos. Who do we have at the control room?
We have Udutono, Nuruddin, and the rest of the crew.
Maximum shout out going out to them this Tuesday morning, 28th day in the month of May, the year 2024.
All right, I understand we'll be talking insurance during the 9 o'clock hour.
That's right, Insurance Digest, and we still continue that dialogue on vehicle safety and the roles that the unified NIP can play. So from the tap of your buttons, you can buy your insurance, the third-party motor insurance, by the way. So we'll be dwelling on that during the course of the program.
And of course, newspaper headlines.
Yeah, Delhi has a bag full of news. Delhi winding towards 1 year of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, right?
Yes.
Anything from the newsstands that's talking about that?
Nothing much except for the inauguration of projects across the country. Most completed already. So
some are just kicking off. Like the coastal road.
Calabar, yes.
Yeah, okay. Sunday was a big day where some of these projects were unveiled, and I'm sure that that will also continue today. I hear that there will be a public hearing on the move to revert to the old national anthem. What do you guys think of that?
Nigeria will hail thee.
Yeah.
That has always come up on and off with conversations. People with the belief that there'll be some form of loyalty to the country if we revert to the old national anthem.
I think for me, my own personal opinion, I am not in support of that. Because if you have an anthem that was composed by foreigners with all the imprints of colonialism written on it, and this is how many years later? Nigeria is going to be what? 64 this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how come we're returning to something from the past? Now, if you're not very comfortable with the current anthem that you have right now, I'm sure Nigerians we're not bereft of ideas. There's so many people. There's so many talented people. So many creative people that you can even give within 3 days. They will come up with something very solid that we can use. So how come we're going down route at this time?
We're taking one step forward and about 20 steps.
No, I'm disappointed with this National Assembly.
I think truly they should have thrown it open.
So to make matters worse,
look for someone that can write something else, another anthem for us.
That's right. And to make matters, I'm so disappointed with the man who.
And I'm going to say that for an anthem that I'm not familiar with, for an anthem that I'm not connected with, there is no way it's going to put out patriotism in me. I've never heard the song in full. It's not until we had the discussion on Saturday, I think, that I had to go through the lyrics. I've not had reason to go through that lyrics. So there is no way it's going to resonate patriotism in me in any way. The one that I get to know from my primary school till now is the one I'm connected with.
And besides, even this one has a lot that connects us more. There's the prayer angle to it. There's so many things that talk about where we are from and all of that. So I'm just wondering why we have to go back to 1960. Right? And in that debate, I was so disappointed to hear the Senate president. I belong to that old generation. I'm not a Gen Z. For crying out loud.
And if you have to look at Nigeria population, we have the youth who are of the highest numbers.
Right, at this time.
Besides, the national anthem shouldn't be about belonging to generation Gen Z, Gen X, or Gen A. It shouldn't be about that. It should be about our collective patriotism to our nation.
That's right. Okay, so I'm hoping that this should be stopped because I see they are moving at a very fast pace on how they can revert to the old anthem. I do not know who will be singing. Who will be singing the old anthem? Who's going to bring that on board? Will they be the ones that are singing alone? The population right now is made up of more youths than the so-called Gen what now? Gen A.
Gen A.
Or Gen O as they call it. So I think they should have a rethink. For me, they just say, look, people should go inwards, come up with new ideas. Let's compose a new anthem.
People throw it out as a competition.
That's right. There's so many people who are eggheads. I mean, there's so many people who can do a whole lot in that regard. Not going to something that has been handed over to us by the British, and now we want to go back to that.
And looking at that, how does that really affect the price of rice in the market? That's that one thing that Nigerians are concerned about when it comes to our foodstuffs going on the price.
Why should they even legislate on that right now?
Addressed. There's nothing wrong with the national anthem. Just leave it at that. We're singing whenever we want to sing. But the main thing that concerns Nigerians should be the food prices going up each day, each time nothing is happening.
Okay, I hope that public hearing will be able to unveil that to most of these legislators who are bent on reverting to the old anthem.
And speaking about unveiling, today?
The Lagos State government will be unveiling the transport policy. It's been in the offing for several years, and finally, that policy is going to be unveiled today, right? It's not a Gen Z policy. It's a policy that seeks to make transportation much more affordable, efficient, reliable, and, of course, accessible too. So it has all the components in it. You can hop from a ferry onto a train, from a train to a vehicle, a road to road transportation, and even the connecting points with the airport. So all of that are going to be articulated into this single document, which the Lagos State government is unveiling today. And you know what?
Well,
Lagos State is doing this ahead of the federal government. We do not have a transport policy, a national transport policy for Nigeria, even as we speak right now. In spite of the fact that year in, year out, we have committees that are set up, they come up with recommendations, they put everything in blueprint. Nothing has been put into one composite document.
And these are the things that should be the front burner for our senators.
Okay, so they should be thinking about that, right? And not legislating on
National
Nigeria, we hail thee.
No. I just try to imagine me singing that at a function or something.
Okay. All right. So we'll put it aside. So all that, lots of gist for you this morning. Adele will bring you the bag of news in the newspaper headlines and birthday profile as well. All that will be part of the menu. If you can keep us company from now through 10 o'clock.
Hello, everyone.